Welcome, everyone who is joining us live. This is the February edition of the Who Mentored You speaker series. My name is Chris Mackey. I work for Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami Valley. We are a nonprofit organization that matches adult mentors, we call them Bigs, with youth mentees, we call them Littles. Bigs and Littles meet 4 to 6 hours a month, and they participate in fun, safe, inexpensive activities while focusing on academic, social, and behavioral goals. The purpose of the Who Mentored You speaker series is to talk with community leaders about how mentoring shaped their lives and how potential Big Brothers Big Sisters mentors can shape the lives of the future leaders of our community. Today, I'm speaking with Anthony Covington. Anthony is a JD candidate at the University of Dayton. He is the assistant to the city manager at the city of Miamisburg, and he is a big brother. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, and so kind of starting off, the first question I have for you, Anthony, is who mentored you as you were growing up, and how did they serve as a mentor for you?
Absolutely. So for me, I was lucky and blessed to have my mentorship journey start in the home with my family, with my mother and my father. They were very influential in just guiding me and teaching me what it meant to be a mentor. And for me, that means giving back, in some ways, making what they called an eternal impact on the life of someone else or the lives of others. I have a very strong faith, and that's really rooted in the idea that we should all be giving something back based on what we've been given. A quote, a scripture that often my parents shared with me is, "Too much is given, much is required." And so, with that mindset, with that ideal, with that value and that principle, that's how I've tried to live my life. So, for mentorship, it started with my family, it started with my upbringing. And I saw that with how my parents lived their lives. They didn't just teach me this through words, but they did it through actions themselves by opening up their home to people in the church and the community who may have needed it, by hosting certain gatherings and getting get-togethers, and by also doing ministry themselves in the form of family ministry, couples ministry. So it was something that's really been ingrained in me from a very young age, that I was able to not only hear them say those words or teach those ideals and those values, but to also live it. So I can say it's somewhat innate in my character and just my well-being to just be able to pour into others, because so much, whether it be through finances, time, knowledge, has been invested into me. So it is the least I can do to give it onto others.
Gotcha. And so, kind of talked about your upbringing from a professional side of things. Who would you say has shaped you in a professional setting to help you be successful at your career?
Again, I'm going to go back to my parents. They were both professionals. However, they taught me the fundamentals and the idea of networking, putting myself out there to reach out to others. I mean, the role that I'm currently in is just a product of one, my mom saying, "Hey, you should reach out to people that you may have worked with in the past," which allowed me to come in this current position as the assistant to the city manager, and where my current manager is Keith Johnson, the city manager of the city of Miamisburg. So, in this new role in the side of local government, I've been mentored by him as well, just showing me the basics of how cities are run, how you should really look at problems that are presented on an everyday basis as a local government leader, and how to tackle those issues while also making sure that you're giving the best customer service to the customers who are essentially the citizens of this community. So that has been a great deal of help in my progression, my career progression in local government and public service. And again, just others I can't name off the top of my head, but I've just been blessed and really privileged to have so much poured into me in my professional sense and how to do things just from a technical standpoint, but also just from a broader sense on how to best provide public service to those in the community.
Gotcha. And so you've shared people who have made an impact in your life. How do you feel like your life would have been different if you didn't have those mentors in your life?
That's a really good question, and I try not to think about it, but it also is good to think about it because it allows you to keep in perspective all the things that you've been blessed with and that I have personally been blessed with. So I really do have to take the time to reflect. Had my life not been invested in and so much poured into me, I definitely would be on a different path. And I'm so thankful and blessed that one, that my parents were very strong in supporting me and all that I wanted to do. From a young age, I've been very ambitious and wanted to achieve a lot. And all my parents did was simply support and help keep me accountable and achieving those goals. And then also connecting me with other people who were in the areas or fields and places that I wanted to go. And so, had it not been for them, had it not been for others who have poured so much into me, I really don't know where I'd be. And I'm just so thankful and really just gracious for all that's been given to me by way of my familial upbringing, through mentorship in the community, whether it be through friends in the school setting, or whether it be in the church setting, or just the community as a whole. It's been more than I could ever ask for.
Gotcha. And so, again, we've talked about people who have mentored you. You're a mentor, you're a big brother. And so, how do you serve as a mentor for your little brother?
It's honestly one of the greatest things I think that I've ever contributed to, just because with my little, we have been connected since actually it was in the middle of the pandemic. We were connected. I was actually on a junction, excuse me, in my career coming out of active duty service, coming into local government. And then also in the middle of a pandemic where there was a lot of unknowns going forward. So it was really just a step of faith on both sides. And just to see how much he has grown over the last 4 years, just as a young man, how much he's progressed, both academically, athletically, socially, emotionally. It's been the honor has truly been mine. I would venture to say that I've gained just as much or even more from this relationship with my little, and just seeing how he has grown and improved in his interactions at school, how he's improved academically, his relationships with his family, and then also just making friends and just growing into the dynamic young man that he is. And now I can't even believe we're talking about him wanting to and looking towards college. So making sure that we're doing things that kind of set him up and best prepare him for what he says he wants to do. And it's really kind of funny because some of the conversations that my little and I are having are some of the same conversations my parents have had with me when I said, hey, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go to college. It's the same thing. All right, this is what you want to do. Well, let's try to put you in the spaces and in front of the people that would help best set you up to achieve those goals and those ideas.
And that really is just briefly speaking about my experience as a mentor too, being able to take those experiences that I was fortunate enough to have mentors in my life, people who wanted me to be successful, and being able to give that back to the next generation. And so it really is, as you were talking about, just it's a great rewarding way of being able to give back to the next generation of community leaders.
Absolutely.
So, Anthony, there are currently 34 littles on the Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami Valley wait list. So 34 kids who are waiting for mentors right now. What would you say, based on your experiences as a big brother, to people who are either considering becoming a mentor for a young person or people who are currently mentors? How have you made your mentorship rewarding and beneficial for everyone involved?
I think one being just open and honest about your commitments outside of the mentorship. I think just talking with friends and colleagues, that's probably the first apprehension into entering in something like a big brother, big sister mentorship. And I would say first, don't worry about that. Big brother, big sisters is very accommodating. Also, the families that they pair you with are often like-minded. So you go through a whole intake process and a matching process that really matches you and pairs you with someone with similar values, similar interests. So you're already, I guarantee, if you decide to become a big, are going to be matched and paired with someone that's a lot like you and probably a lot like you were when you were a young person. So I would say don't worry about the time commitment because I am a very busy person. However, making time for these activities, for these engagements with my little are not stressful. It's not an added thing. It's actually something I look forward to. And so I've tried to incorporate that just in my trying to get other people to be interested in this in whatever space I'm in, whether it be in my job, at school, or just in community, other community activities. So I would say that it's been super beneficial in just adding to my life's purpose, my life's mission. And it's just been something that has really just clicked well in both my interactions with my little's family, with my little himself, and then just with telling other people about it. Stories of activities that we've done have just been awesome. And then seeing again, as I mentioned before, his growth through all of this process and this time. It's been 4 years, and I can't believe it's been 4 years that we've been matched, but it's been very rewarding for both my little and myself.
That's awesome. And that is something that we want everyone to get out of Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the mentors, the mentees, the parents and guardians, to have it be a rewarding experience. And so for those who are watching, if you are potentially interested in learning more about Big Brothers, Big Sisters, about becoming a mentor for one of the kids on our wait list, you can learn more by going to our website, which is bbbsmiamivalley.org, by giving us a call at 937-220-6850, or just looking us up, Googling Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Miami Valley. Anthony, wanted to thank you so much for talking with me today. And thank you very much for being a big brother. And for everyone who was watching, thank you very much for tuning into the February edition of our Who Mentored You speaker series. Anthony, thanks again.